His life was an anthem, his death a ballad. A star that burned bright, extinguished too soon. Today, we're peeling back the layers of one of history's greatest mysteries: the secret funeral of Freddie Mercury. Imagine a funeral where no one knew it was happening. No crowds, no headlines, no global broadcast. Just 35 people. A closed chapel, a quiet crematorium, and the silence of a world that hadn't yet learned how to grieve. It was November 27, 1991, 3 days after Freddie Mercury died. The man who once commanded 80,000 fans with a flick of his wrist was being laid to rest in near total secrecy. No press, no cameras, not even a public announcement. This wasn't about fame. It was about love, about privacy, about honoring the man behind the legend on his own terms. And in that hush, amid candlelight and unspoken grief, the world lost Freddie Mercury all over again. Not in a headline, but in a whisper. On November 24, 1991, at the age of 45, Freddie Mercury died in his London home, Kensington, after a private battle with AIDS. The news sent shockwaves across the globe. Fans gathered outside his home, some weeping, some in disbelief, all wondering why a man who gave so much joy could face such sorrow alone. But even in his passing, Freddie was private. The details of his illness, his final moments, his wishes for his final moments, all kept under wraps. It was only the following day that Brian May, Freddie's close friend and guitarist of the band Queen, released a statement written in Freddie's own words. Following the enormous conjecture in the press, I wish to confirm that I have been tested HIV positive and have AIDS. My doctors told me that it is in full-blown AIDS. Now I must be honest with my fans and with myself. I must allow myself to start the fight back against this terrible disease. I feel it correct to keep this private to protect those around me. However, the time has come for my friends and fans to know the truth. I have never deliberately concealed anything from my fans. And from the very start, it was my intention to be open about my condition. What I didn't want is to become a statistic or a poster boy. This is something that affects all of us. It's the one taboo subject that dare not speak its name. But I'm here to tell you that it is here now and nothing can stop it. It's almost a part of me now. However, I'm not one to sit back and feel sorry for myself. I've got things that I want to do, records to make, and I'll be doing it my way. But for now, I need some peace and quiet. Thank you. And then, his final message: be good to each other and treat yourself with dignity. With those words, the world finally understood the silence, the retreat, the final performances, the battles with illness, the fear, the confusion. But while millions grieved in living rooms, while tributes poured in from Elton John to David Bowie, a small group gathered. Not to perform, not to speak, but to say goodbye. The funeral was not one event, but two. Two quiet ceremonies, 2 moments of peace. First, a private service in a chapel in London, a place of stillness lit by candlelight. Only 35 people were invited. Each one chosen not by fame, but by love. There was Mary Austin, the woman who had known him since the beginning, who had lived with him before Queen, who he once said would have been his wife if things had been different. She was there, not as a lover, but as family, as she always had been. Jim Hutton, his partner of 7 years, who had cared for him through his final days, who never left his side. He was there too, quiet, grieving, devoted. And the band, Brian May, Roger Taylor, and John Deacon, the brothers he had made music with for over 2 decades. They sat together, not as rock stars, but as men who had lost a soulmate. No speeches were made. No eulogy was delivered. Just silence, music, and the weight of a love too deep for words. After the chapel, they moved to the crematorium, where Freddie was cremated according to traditional Zoroastrian Persian rites. His family was Parsi, followers of Zoroastrianism, a faith that honors fire, purity, and the sacredness of nature. In their tradition, burial is avoided. Instead, the body is offered to fire, a return to the elements. The ceremony was simple, respectful, sacred, and when it was over, only a few knew where his ashes would go, because Freddie had made one final request. No public grave, no monument, no spectacle. And Mary Austin, the woman he trusted above all, was entrusted with his ashes. To this day, no one knows where they rest. She has never revealed the location. She likely never will. And in that silence, there is beauty because Freddie didn't want to be remembered in stone. He wanted to be remembered in song, in laughter, and every time someone puts on a crown and sings "We Are the Champions." So he left no grave, but he left a legacy. There was no fanfare, no headlines on that day. But for those 35 people, it was the most important day of their lives. They weren't mourning the icon. They were mourning the man, the friend, the brother, the artist. The one who made them laugh, who challenged them, who loved fiercely and lived freely. And in that small space, amid grief, music, and quiet prayer, they said what the world would later echo. "We loved you. We still do. We always will." Freddie Mercury didn't die on stage, but in a way, he never left it. Every time a stadium sings Bohemian Rhapsody, every time a fan shouts "Ayo" at the sky, every time someone dares to be different, he's there. Because legends don't fade. They echo. And Freddie's echo began in silence. In a chapel, in a crematorium, with 35 people who loved him most. But it spreads to every heart that's ever been moved by his voice, his courage, his truth. So we don't light candles at a grave, we light them in our homes. We don't leave flowers at a tombstone. We play his music. We sing his songs. We live, as he did, with passion, with pride, with dignity. And when we say thank you, Freddie, we're not just speaking to the star. We're speaking to the man who, in his final moments, chose peace over fame, love over spectacle, and silence over noise. That is how he lived, and that is how he said goodbye. Now let us take a moment to discuss some interesting details and theories surrounding Freddie Mercury's death and legacy. Keep in mind, these are theories and not confirmed facts. So feel free to share your thoughts and what you believe happened. Theories about the cause of Freddie Mercury's death. There have been various theories regarding how Freddie contracted HIV. One theory suggests that he may have been exposed to the virus through a contaminated needle while getting a tattoo. Another theory suggests that he may have been infected through a blood transfusion he received during a medical procedure. However, it's important to note that these are just theories, and the actual cause of his infection remains unknown. The secrecy surrounding Freddie Mercury's funeral and the decision to keep the details private was likely done out of respect for his wishes and to protect the privacy of his family and friends during a difficult time. It also helped to prevent media frenzy and allowed for a more intimate and personal farewell. The choice to cremate Freddie Mercury's body according to Zoroastrian customs was a deeply personal and spiritual decision. It reflects the importance of honoring one's cultural and religious beliefs, even in the face of public scrutiny and pressure. The cremation ceremony held at the crematorium was likely a somber and emotional event attended by close friends and family. The small and intimate gathering provided an opportunity for them to say goodbye to Freddie in a peaceful and private setting. The decision to keep the location of Freddie's ashes a secret was likely made to honor his desire for privacy and to prevent his final resting place from becoming a site of pilgrimage for fans. It allows his memory to remain private and personal, away from the public eye. The enduring legacy of Freddie Mercury. Despite the circumstances surrounding his death, Freddie Mercury's legacy as a musical icon and LGBTQ+ rights activist continues to inspire and influence people around the world. His music continues to be celebrated, and his contributions to the music industry have earned him a place in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Additionally, organizations like the Mercury Phoenix Trust, which was founded in his memory, continue to raise awareness and funds for HIV, AIDS research and treatment. Freddie Mercury's death was a significant loss for the music industry and the LGBTQ+ community. However, his legacy as a trailblazing performer and activist continues to be celebrated. His music continues to inspire people around the world, and his impact on popular culture is undeniable. So what are your thoughts? Did you find this video insightful? Do you have any more theories you'd like to share? Feel free to comment below and engage in discussions about Freddie's life, music, and lasting legacy. Thanks for watching.